Welcome back to Simple Physique. Today I'm going to talk about something that makes people run for the hills. I know many of us cringe when we hear the idea of counting calories and tracking macros. It seems grueling and tedious and
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I mean, who the hell wants to use measuring cups, tablespoons, or think about math when they're eating? I sure as hell don't. But here's the thing. If you're sick of not seeing the results that you are expecting and you want to see body fat melt away like clockwork, then you might want to consider tracking your food or at least becoming familiar with the serving sizes and their calorie count just to start out. And in just a moment, I will show you that it doesn't have to be the laborious or time-consuming task that you think it might be. You know what else isn't laborious or time-consuming? Liking and subscribing to my channel here, which helps me out so very much and allows me to continue to provide free content. Now, I keep a pretty busy schedule, so I've come up with life hacks and techniques that I'm going to share with you that make tracking your calories super duper easy and super duper simple. I'm about to show you how I haven't used a measuring cup in years. And also, keep in mind that tracking calories isn't something that has to be done for the rest of your life. I mean, that sounds pretty awful and boring, but it is a very useful tool to achieve your goal body weight or body fat percentage. And from there, maintaining your weight becomes way easier. Apps make things super easy to track food these days. You can use any one you'd like. My go-to app is the tried and true MyFitnessPal. I've been using it for years. The interface is super intuitive, simple, and straightforward. So the first way to simplify tracking your calories is by taking advantage of MyFitnessPal's barcode scanner. Just scanning the barcode on packaged foods saves you tons of time by not having to search it yourself and finding it among all the other search results. But you might already be familiar with this. So let's take the barcode feature a little bit further. Now, you know how to scan the food, but if there are multiple servings in the package and you only intend to eat part of it, you've got to measure it out, right? Wrong. On the nutrition label, it will tell you how many servings are in the package. If the package lists that there are 4 servings and you only intend to eat just 1 serving, just eye out 1/4 of the package. In this case, if you eat the entire package over the course of 4 days or 4 meals, you know that each time you ate it, you consumed roughly 1 serving. The amount of each serving does not have to be exact. Your calories for the day do not have to be exact. Your body does not work in exact numbers, and neither should you. This method becomes even easier over time as you start to familiarize yourself with what the servings look like. Super simple to do and a huge time saver since you don't have to fuss around with measuring anything. Now, what about meat? Well, trying to measure out raw meat can be a very messy hassle. Weighing it out with a food scale has generally always been the easiest way. Well, here's a way to cut the scale out entirely. It's a similar method to the last example. If you've ever purchased raw meat at the store, you know that they label it in pounds. Keeping that in mind, all we need to know is that there are 16 ounces in a pound. That means if I'm eating 8 ounces a day and I buy 2 pounds of chicken breast, I know that I have 4 days worth of meals. Sometimes you have to look through the packages at the store to find something that's pretty close to your desired weight, but there's usually always something that's packaged at a pretty even number. And again, it's okay if things aren't exact. Just try to find something that's within 1/10 of a pound. I make things even easier by batch cooking the meat all at once. I just use what looks like roughly 1/4 of the meat for 1 meal and refrigerate the rest in some Tupperware until I'm ready to use it again. You never have to weigh anything. Okay, fine. You might have to do a little very simple math at first for this, but after doing it a couple times, it'll become very intuitive and you'll know exactly what to buy every time you go grocery shopping. Okay, so what about fibrous veggies? What's the easiest way to track things like leafy greens, cucumber, broccoli, asparagus, etc.? Well, you don't. No one ever got fat from eating too many fibrous veggies. Case closed. Okay, look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there aren't calories in those foods, but the contributing amount is negligible in the big picture. Unless you're trying to make weight for a stage competition or struggling to get to single-digit body fat percentages, give yourself a break on counting the fibrous veggies. However, when it comes to your starchy vegetables like potatoes, carrots, peas, corn, you will want to track those. And I have found that the easiest way to do this is by simply buying a food scale for about 20 bucks. You can still implement the previous techniques I laid out for you by weighing out and cooking multiple servings at once and splitting them into equal proportion serving sizes, so you don't have to weigh them out each time. Okay, I know I'm gonna lose a lot of people once I mention the food scale, but here's the thing, and I'll say it again. If your fat loss goals are important to you and you want to break out of that constant cycle of losing weight only to gain it right back, if you want to shed the body fat for good, you'll be okay with weighing out some of your food. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Just use it as a periodic tool to achieve your current goals. Maintaining a desired weight is much easier once you get there. Also, I just showed you how to minimize weighing out most things anyway. But sometimes, if something is important to us, we have to put in a little work. And honestly, it's pretty damn easy to do. It's really no different than preparing your food how you normally would, except your plate or bowl is just sitting on a scale now. A few more things to make your life a little easier. Don't worry about tracking things that have 0 calories, like black coffee, unsweetened teas, and calorie-free diet sodas and beverages. You also don't need to track spices and seasonings as long as they don't have any added sugar, and most don't. When it comes to sauces and oils, using the scale is also way easier than using a measuring spoon. You can either tear your food on the scale to 0 and pour your desired amount, or you can tear the bottle itself to 0 and use the desired amount until the serving size reads negative on the scale. So, with these techniques and hacks I just laid out for you, you should be able to see that there really isn't much to counting calories and tracking your macros. I'll say it one more time. This is not something that you have to do for the rest of your life. No one wants to live that way or needs to. I sure as hell don't, which is why I came up with these little hacks in the first place. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.